Bed Talk number 32. And if you've been paying attention for the last couple of Bed Talks, I told you that I was going to build a series within these Bed Talks to tell you how I really feel about some of the more classically given standard public speaking tips, dispel some myths, just talk about what I know and how I perceive public speaking, because quite frankly, I'm not like other public speaking coaches. And that's really important because the person or the people that I'm looking to help aren't looking to be a conformist robot speaker that looks like every other speaker that's ever stepped onto a stage. I'm looking for folks that really want to stand out when they speak. And so I'm tackling some of the things that really hold people back when they speak. I'm tackling things that have been passed down generationally, Alex. I speak typo, which means sometimes I mess up. I'm tackling those things because I think it's really important that if we're going to get people up and speaking, whether that's giving a presentation, whether that's in a one-on-one meeting, whether that's on a stage, that we really have to undo some of the systematic programming that says you have to operate like a pretty perfect polished speaker and or robot to be good at it. That's ridiculous. You don't. You really don't. What is necessary to be a great speaker is that you show up as yourself. Speaking should be a reflection of who you are, not who you think you ought to be. That's Les Brown. Les Brown's good. He's got some good stuff. He's also got his own style. So that's what I've been doing. So I'm doing a 7-day series on what do you really think about that, Alex? And the what do you really think about that comes from me charging it in my bathroom at home, telling my husband everything I really think about whatever I just heard. And he's like, oh, tell me what you really think, because I get going. So today's question comes from my good friend Angie, or today's topic. And she asked me, she's like, Alex, and this is such a classic public speaking question. She said, Alex, I've heard lots of different things, but what do I do with my hands? Every single speaker I have ever worked with has asked me this question, and the advice that I have given has morphed and shifted and changed over time. So, beginner Alex would give the same public speaking advice, which is, don't do the fig leaf position, put your hands really wide, make sure you're big, that you're using gestures that are meaningfully tied to your content. That is traditional public speaking advice. Don't use unnecessary movement. Don't fidget, all of those things. But I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it on its head, because when somebody asks me, what do I do with my hands? Here is the advice that I now give. It's actually not advice, it's a question that I ask first. So I ask this question first. I say, what do you normally do with your hands when you talk? When you are not worried about being a performer, when you are not feeling insecure about how you're speaking, when you are talking to someone and you feel confident, what are your hands normally doing? And people vary widely on this. So there are people like me who are handsy. I use gestures when I talk. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. And when I feel really good about what I'm doing, my hands get going. Flip side of that, if I'm not feeling good, I might bury my hands. I might sit on them, make myself really small. My question to you is, what do you normally do with your hands when you're talking? Because that's an indication of how, that's when you feel good, when you are feeling confident. That's what I want you doing. I don't need you to try to memorize or choreograph movements to try to make yourself a better speaker. That will actually make you look like a fake, because those aren't things that you normally do. And unless you want to be like the sage on the stage kind of guy or gal, why would you spend your time memorizing choreographed movements? You're not a dancer. You are not Britney Spears. Don't need to do that. You need to move your body, move or do gestures or not do gestures, because I have speakers who are perfectly fine standing calmly with their hands down at their sides. Do what you do with your hands. You've been using them your whole life. Nobody knows what to do with your hands better than you know what to do with your hands. Think about that for a second. We're like looking at somebody else and we're like, I have these things stuck to the end of my arms and I don't know what to do with them. Can you tell me what to do with them? Because there should be a right way to use our hands. I've seen great speakers use their hands. I've seen great speakers not use their hands. I care way more about what you are saying and are you showing up as you? Because I'm not looking for performers. There's a big difference between being a performer and being a speaker. Somebody who talks about a subject. A performer is someone who puts on an act. A speaker is someone who shares their information and tells you what they know. So, what do you do with your hands? Do what you normally do. And that is how I really feel about that. Today, I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, and I'm all dolled up because I'm going to be on a webinar here shortly with my good friend Jason Barnaby from Firestarters Inc. You've seen this t-shirt before, and I will drop that in the comments below. He is on fire, and he is someone who shows up as Jason when he speaks, undoubtedly. So, Max is here. He is sleeping, and he's a little sad that he still doesn't get Cheetos, but maybe tomorrow we're going to slowly reintegrate a Cheeto a day, but not a lot because I think I gave him pancreatitis with all of the snacks. So I need to take good care of my boy. All right. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have a public speaking question, would you please drop it in the comments below because I'd love to tell you what I think about it. I'd love to tell you what I really think about it. And I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.